Hello everybody, Sir Beaton here and welcome back to another past paper practice video. In this video, I will be tackling some geometry questions. So let's head straight into the question. So the question says, a line segment joins the point C and the point C is -5, 6 and D, 7, 2. Calculate the midpoint of the line segment CD. So to find midpoint, use a capital M. So midpoint would be, of course, a point. So the formula to find midpoint, it's x1 plus x2 all divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 all divided by 2. So let's call this x, this is y, we know this one is x, this is y, so this is x1, this is y1, x2, and this would be y2. So let's substitute our values now. So we see x1 would be -5 plus x2, which is 7, all divided by 2, comma. Y1 we see 6 plus y2, which is 2, all divided by 2. So this is equal to -5 plus 7, that would be +2 over 2, comma. 6 plus 2 is 8 over 2. So this would be 2 divided by 2 is 1, comma. 8 divided by 2 would be 4. So the midpoint of the line segment CD would be 1, 4, as easy as that. The next question says, find the gradient of the line segment CD. So we know to find gradient, in this case gradient would be represented by a small m, a common m. So the gradient is the change in y over the change in x. So we know the change in y would be y2 minus y1 all divided by x2 minus x1. Or it can be y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. It really and truly doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one they put for us. So now let's label. We know this is x, this is y, this is x, this is y. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So the gradient would be equal to, so we see y2 would be 2, subtract y1, which is 6, all divided by x2, which is 7, subtract x1, which is -5. So the gradient would be 2 minus 6 would be a -4, all divided by 7 minus -5. So this here will cancel and turn into a plus. So 7 plus 5 would be 12. So this here would be equal to 4 ones 4, 4 into 12 would be 3. So the gradient is equal to -1 over 3. So the gradient is -1 over 3. So next question says, determine the equation of the perpendicular bisector of CD. So when we talk about the perpendicular bisector, so let's say we had this line here, and in this line the midpoint would be 1, 4. So the midpoint would be 1, 4. So perpendicular bisector means the line passes through the middle of the line segment at 90 degrees, of course. So we know the point in which the line will pass through. So we know the point at which the line will pass through would be the midpoint, which is 1, 4 that we found earlier. So that is a point in which this line will pass through at that point. So that is important to note. So they want the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So they want the equation of the line perpendicular to this original line that we had passing through the point 1, 4. This is another way they're asking that question. They want the equation of the line perpendicular to CD passing through the point 1, 4. So we know the general form for equation of the straight line. It's y equal mx plus c, in which m is the gradient and c would be the y-intercept. So first of all, do we know the gradient? So we know the gradient of the other line is -1 over 3. So since this line is perpendicular, the gradient of this line would be the negative reciprocal of this. So we know this is a -1 over 3, so this would be a +3. So the gradient of the line that we're interested in is a +3, because if we multiply -1 over 3 by a +3, we'll end up with -3 over 3, which will equal to a -1. And as long as the product of two gradients that are perpendicular will be a -1. So in simpler words, we just find the negative reciprocal of the other line. And by reciprocal, we mean we just flip it and we flip the sign. So the gradient of the line we're interested in is -3. So we have the gradient of that line, and then we also have these 2 points because the line will pass through. It's a bisector, so that means it will pass through the middle So we also have these 2 points. So this will be x and this is y. So we have all of those things. Now we can find for c. So we can say instead of y, we can say is equal to 4 because that is the value of y here. Is equal to m, which is 3, multiplied by x, which is 1, plus c. So 4 would be equal to 3 times 1 is 3 plus c. So c would be equal to 4. This 3 is added. Now we take the subtract. So 4 minus 3. So c would be equal to 1. So the value of c is 1. So we have c. We have the gradient here. So let's write the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So it will be y is equal to m, which is 3x plus 1. That will be the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Next question says, another line AB is parallel to CD and passes through the point 0, 1. Write down the equation of the line AB. So we see AB is parallel. So as long as they're parallel, that means they have the same gradient. So if the gradient of the line CD is negative 1 over 3, the gradient of this line AB would be negative 1 over 3. And we also have 2 points that the line passes through. So this would be x, this is y. So to find the equation of AB, we say it's y equal mx plus c. So we know y would be 1. So it's 1 equal m, which is negative 1 over 3, times x, in this case, which is 0, plus c. 1 would be equal to, so this times anything times 0 is 0. So c is equal to 1. So we can say the equation of the line would be y is equal to negative 1 over 3x plus 1. And that would be the equation of this line that is parallel to CD. So with that, this has brought me to the end of this video. And in this video, as you can see, the concept of perpendicular and parallel lines were brought out and the gradient of lines. So I want you to use these concepts to answer similar questions. So I'll see you in the next video in which I'll be tackling some more questions. So keep practicing and take care.